screen like Shanti playing in AMG. Let it rain on me. On my head, boys, I'm on my knees like that. Lord, please pray for me. Save your grace for me.
Say, boy, what you want? Eat that. Shoot in my mouth, shoot in my and one. Okay, on the real, I'ma take his soul. I'ma take him from his. On the real, I think he knows.
I think he knows. When I play with him like that. I think he knows. When I save him like that. He's wrapped around my pinky finger, watching the way I move. More power than on. And he knows it's true. When I play with him like that. When I play with him like that. Play with him like that. That he's coming right back.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Here's Michael Badgley now to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Allen going to go to the air right away. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
That good for 19 and a 1st down. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scout.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, it's only the first quarter, but that's a quick shift in momentum right there because they were driving the football before that interception. And then not only, Charles, do they throw the pick, but it gets returned all the other way for the score.
I think the important thing here was it backed up in their own territory. This defense didn't blink. They hung in there, waited for the offense to make a mistake, and as soon as they did, they capitalized in the biggest way possible.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six.
Here's a diving catch right side. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. You talk about this Jets defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
This defense for the Jets, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Allen now looks to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Jets winning on the road, so they're looking to finish off the sweep here now at MetLife Stadium. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Stark. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The Jets at 11-4 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Let's go now.
2nd and 9 now. He finds Wilson. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 13-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stark. And it's caught. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run over center with Mitchell. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. You talk about this Jets defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll run here with a rookie. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Calling a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Jets are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Here we go, set.
There's a fake on the Jets sweeping instead. A give to Hall up the middle. And able to give one man the slip there as he works his way forward for about 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Shut up. Ready.
Hall again on 2nd down. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Go!
On the counter, it's Hall. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go. Here we go. Hut, hut.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Come on. Set. Check go.
Looking to throw. Stark. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Jets have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Over the middle, complete. That's Davis. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On the counter, Mitchell, powerful running. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Jets will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
Ready.
Hall again. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Ready?
From the gun on third down. Stark. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Attack!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This taken in by Kincaid. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, 39 yards. And the Bills get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Let's go!
Back to throw. Stark. Caught. It's Wilson. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Go!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
That one taken in by Corley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. Hall on a give up the middle. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Set up. Ready.
Looking to throw. Stark. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Alert!
Partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now, as they come up on second and a couple.
Look out!
Here's Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw, it's Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To the air, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Uncorks one for Davis. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Now a screen set up for Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Bills get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Here's the Bills kickoff unit out as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Back to throw. Stark. And he'll be hit as he releases it And that'll fall incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Come on, set.
Looking to throw. Stark. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
This will be fielded at the 17. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Throwing now is Allen. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Alert! Middle. Look out!
A final shot before half for Allen. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And after that touchdown, we are just a PAT away from a tie game. And I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even, They just scored. If they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to feel like they're the ones that are in control.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 21. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
2nd and 5. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
2nd down and a yard. Back to throw again. This completes a Corley. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. Ready?
They'll run with Hall. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Let's go now.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On the set.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Set. Ready.
Operating from the gun. Stark. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the gun on third down. Stark. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. Here's a quick throw right side, and it's complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed in the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here we go. Check go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. David Njoku from 13 yards out. And the Jets have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Allen going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Allen. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he can't escape, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents. And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Ready! Get up!
They'll go again with Hall. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Bills will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. Allen hit. He lost the football. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation, they keep the football. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. Saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment. Saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. That is caught. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 12-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Allen now looks to throw. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Now a 2nd and 10. This one out quickly to Watkins. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Motion man is Schwartz. From the gun, it's Allen. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Bates' kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he...
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Quentin Williams racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Allen. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Allen. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
To the air, Allen. This taken in by Kincaid. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll run with Mitchell, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Allen. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Jets are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Gregory Rousseau just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rushed decisions or another turnover.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. Stark. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sheds him off at the 45. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Throwing, Allen. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
To throw is Allen. Rolling to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Under 90 seconds to go. Here's 2nd and 10. Allen. But they'll say it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Here's Allen. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Jets have just about sewn up this football game. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go, set.
That one taken in by Corley. And he will have a Jets first down, and that should just about do it. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets.
Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb.